Hey guys, Woods Farm here. Just back out working on the Kubelwagen part 60. So basically prepping for paint. It's Tuesday. Got to work a couple days this week, but hopefully by Friday I'll be off work again, and on the weekend we can get to paint. So the big job now is cleaning it out. You know, 2 years of grime and dirt's kind of built up on the inside of it, dust from inside the garage. So it's got to get cleaned out really well. The outside's obviously easy, but the interior's what's going to be tricky to clean. I'm not going to be painting the floors or the tunnel or part of the front firewall, but there are parts on the inside that need to get painted. I've got a little bit of sanding to do still as well. Spent most of the morning cleaning up the garage, vacuuming. I vacuumed the ceilings, vacuumed the floor, got everything cleaned up, cleaned out a lot of the junk to make space, and I'm set up drop cloths just to more to keep the paint in and keep the paint from kind of getting all over everything. I'm not really sure how much overspray there's going to be, but better to be over prepared. And I don't know, maybe they'll keep some dust from getting in as well. So now I'm just going to prep the Kubelwagen. I got to clean it really good on the inside and outside. I'm going to pull the tires and put it on jack stands. I've got to remove the doors, and I'm going to remove the front fenders. I got to tape off the floor and parts of the interior. So I still have a lot of work to do. So now I'm cleaning the outside with a degreaser. And after that I'm going to pull the doors, pull the fenders, and put it on jack stands. That's what I'm using to degrease. Hopefully it works. Okay, so just wrapping it up for the night. It's jacked up on stands. I got the wheel well areas all taped off. Just using a garbage bag over top of the transaxle. Got some cardboard on the inner fenders. So there's a little bit of rust that formed on the lip there where the fender was bolted, so I might hit that tomorrow morning quick. Do a quick sanding on that. But that's pretty much it. So in the morning, hopefully we'll get a coat of primer on this, get things started. Okay, just getting ready to paint and setting everything up. I want to make sure everything's ready to go. Don't have to be searching for stuff and supplies. I bought this paint holder for the spray gun. It holds the spray gun and it has an attachment on the top which allows you to put the filters in. So when you're filling up the cup, it makes it nice and easy. I've got to install this regulator, but this is a regulator that goes right on the base of the gun, so you can actually regulate the pressure at the gun. Got some cleaning supplies. I got to install these filters. These are water filters, or a moisture filter for the compressor. Got a whole box of tack cloth just to dust the surfaces before I paint. Here's the filters. This is something you don't think about when you're budgeting, but here is the cartridges for vapor. They're not cheap, 30 bucks a set. So I got 2 sets of those. Different thinners and cleaners. You got to account for all that kind of stuff. Got these mixing cups just on the off chance I have to thin the paint. The data sheet says that the paint doesn't need to be thinned in most cases, but we'll see. More gloves. Need stuff like this. Last but not least, the paint. Ordered this out of the States. Got primer, and it was actually cheaper to buy the entire can as opposed to buying 2 or 3 of these small cans, so I figured I'd go with it. And I also got 2 rattle cans. I'm going to try to not use these today and save these for touch-ups and smaller parts and things that I add to the car down the road.
Well, give it a light coat, you have enough to go all the way around.
Okay, so we got primer on 95% of the car. We ran out, but that's okay. It's a real light coat. We did the doors really well, but there was so much overspray trying to get the inside around on the bars and stuff. A lot was wasted. It was really tricky. The inside was the hardest part. The outside was a breeze, really easy. And you can see we just ran out when we got to the back here. But that's okay, because the industrial paint that I'm using, it's rated to go right on bare metal. So we're going to let this primer dry, and then we're just going to go right for the top coat. Okay, that's where we're at. That's 2 coats. Originally I only planned to do 2 coats, but I've got lots of paint. These are really light coats, so I'm going to go ahead and do a 3rd and maybe a 4th coat. By far the hardest part is doing the interior. It's definitely it's not as even on the inside, and I'm not exactly sure if I'm at 2 or 3 coats in some spots. It's really tricky to get in there. There's the parts. I still have to do the bumper bars and some other small parts, but I can do that with rattle cans. Front fenders. I might put on some rubberized undercoating on the inside of the fenders. We'll see. Doors, I'm really happy with the way they're turning out. Low volume powders is the source for the paint. I ordered this out of the States. This is called khaki gray. Okay, that's the end result. 3 coats. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. Obviously, out in the actual daylight, when I get it out of the garage, that's when the real imperfections are gonna kind of pop out. But overall, I'm pretty happy. It was interesting how much of the overspray, kind of the mist, got in the nooks and crannies where I didn't have it actually taped off. You can see it's kind of like a little dust. It's not really, it's not really adhered to it, but it's in there. So we'll be able to clean that off. You can kind of see it right along the bottom edge there. That kind of got in there. I don't know how, but So I still have some painting to do tomorrow. I got to do the bumper bars. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the wheel, the rims. But hopefully tomorrow I can actually start reassembling it, maybe tomorrow afternoon. Get the tires back on it. So we'll see. So it's the next day and I'm doing more painting, headlights, some of the smaller components. I'm going to do another coat on all these pieces here. Some of them I flipped over to do the underside. There's the bumper bars. Those are going to get painted today along with the windshield frame. I'm going to try to paint the rims, just the outside edge that you see, and I'm also this spare tire here. I just sandblasted all the rust and crud off of that rim. These rims, I hit them with the sandblaster. They got a really good finish on them. It barely touched it. I might try to hand sand it just to scuff it up. Hopefully the paint will adhere to it. And I figured while I have the paint gun out, I'm just going to do these jerry cans in that Foot Locker. So I've gone ahead and painted the seats with this vinyl and fabric paint. We're going to see how that works. It's a stopgap anyways because I'm going to be making custom seats later. And that's what they look like all painted up. Actually not too bad. My real concern is like how durable is this actually going to be. So I followed the instructions precisely, cleaned them really good, degreased and put the paint down. So we will see 2 coats. Looks good. That's the tires. It turned out well. So I wanted to paint the gas tank, which is aluminum, because you can see part of it from the inside of the car. So this is what I've got. I knew that just painting it with regular primer probably wouldn't work on aluminum, so we're going to try this stuff. It's for use on aluminum and galvanized. Compared to other primers, this takes a lot longer to dry between coats. They're recommending 1 hour. I don't know if it's some sort of an etching process, but hopefully I can get a couple of coats of this on, and then when I put on the actual paint, it'll actually stick to it. Yeah, there's the gas tank, nice bright yellow. Yeah, we're gonna see. That's the first coat. Just finished the last coat of paint on the gas tank. It's been a pretty epic weekend. Some pretty solid days, Saturday and Sunday, getting everything painted. Just a little teaser. It's gonna look better in daylight, but that's where we're at. Just got the headlights on. Kind of had to eyeball the position of the headlights. My fenders have a lot more of an arch towards the front. I think an actual Kubel fender is a lot flatter, and obviously there's some issues with the proportions of the nose anyways, so that was my best guess. And these lights are quite large. A friend donated these to the cause. They're a little bit larger than the originals. They also have the signal light on them, but you know, down the road I can replace them with something more appropriate, but for now they're going to work, and I'm really happy with the way this thing's turned out. Painted the seats. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. As always, if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. I'll be making more videos. Probably at the rate I'm going now, probably 2 more parts until this series is completely wrapped up. Obviously, I've talked about now I have to assemble things and get it running. So the engine's got to go back in, wiring, a lot of detail stuff like that's got to happen. So that'll be the next couple of videos, and then we're going to wrap things up with the test drive. You know, if everything goes well and I can get the engine running and get this thing driving. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching.